Copyright disclaimer. Under Title 17 U.S.C. Section 107, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay, guys, another account from a second gen. I think he's a second gen. And if there's anything I need to censor out, I will. This was 5 years ago. I'm an ex-Scientologist who was trafficked for labor by Scientology from ages 15 to 18. Okay, then. Okay, again, I don't know if he's a second gen. I reported it to the FBI and they did nothing. Yep, sounds like the going rate, isn't it? AMA trigger warning. Unique experience. My name is Derek Bloch. I am not the typical high-ranking or celebrity Scientologist. I am more familiar with the low-level, day-to-day activities of cult members than anything else. I was exposed to some of the worst kinds of abuse, but compared to some of the other stories I have heard, I got away relatively unscathed, and I am thankful for that. Now I live on my own as a lower middle class married gay man. FTR. I have been going to therapy for years. That's helped me gain some insight into myself and the damage that Scientology and my parents did to me when I was younger. It's not to say I'm not an emotional and psychological wreck, because I kind of still am, and sometimes. I'm not a licensed psychologist, but I think therapy has given me the tools to objectively understand my experience, and writing about it is cathartic, hence the AMA. First, I shared an anonymous account of my story online to a board specifically for ex-Scientologists. It's important to note there are two distinct religious separations in my life. One is when I was kicked out of the Sea Org at age 18, literally 2 days after my birthday, because I developed a relationship with someone who also had a P. And two is when I left Scientology at age 26, altogether after sharing my story publicly. You know they don't like that. After Scientology's PR police hunted me down, using that post, my parents threw me out. Wonder what year that was. On my way out, my dad called me a blank. We can guess what that is, for sharing my story anonymously. So these people are horrible, some of them. He also said he didn't raise his son to be a blank. Isn't that a hate crime? Anybody? It's a hate crime, right? Being the petty person that I am, of course, I spoke to a journalist and went very public about it, all of it immediately after. I also wrote a cracked listicle. Full disclosure, they paid me $100 for that. I tried to do an aftermath-style show, but apparently there were some issues with the fact that they paid me $500 to appear on the show. That was about $5 to $7 an hour worth of compensation. so it was shelved. Had I known that would be a determining factor, it would have been easy to refuse the money. Production staff said it was normal and necessary. Here is a story about that experience, and it was awful, and I am still pissed that it didn't air, but whatevs. Obviously, I don't have any documentation about my conversations with the FBI, but that happened too. You'll just have to take my word for it. On that note, I am 95% sure this post will get buried by Scientology. It didn't. Overlooked by the sub because of timing, or buried by higher quality content. I might even get sued, who knows? I don't really care anymore. I'll be popping in when I get some notifications, but otherwise I'm just assuming this will disappear into the abyss of the interweb tubes. P.S. Please don't yell at me for being overweight. I have started going to the gym daily in the last few months, so I'm working on it. That's sad that he would say that. I guess he is a second gen then, because if his parents were saying all those nasty things to him. So that's why, you guys, I don't dislike and hate all Scientologists. Like, there's no way I would do that. But parents that are treating their children like that, I think a lot of them are getting what they deserve right now. So we'll see. We'll see. So I'll put a link in the description box. Like and subscribe if you choose. Have a good day or night wherever you are. Peace.